Well, it's nighttime, but we're going to give this a shot anyway. We got all kinds of errors because the battery was disconnected. Those should go out as we're driving here. I don't know if you guys know, but see the ABS and the PSM error there. Whenever the battery's disconnected, you always get that because there's a steering angle sensor that needs to be recalibrated. And the way to recalibrate that is to fire it up, let it get up to operating temperature, and then over 10 miles per hour, you will turn that to left 20 degrees to the left, 20 degrees to the right. Gotta get used to the shifter. I'm used to 996s. Anyway, 20 degrees to the left, 20 degrees to the right, rolling over 10 miles per hour, and that will synchronize itself, so you don't have to bring it to a shop, even though you might think you have to. Let's see, we are up to operating temperature. See that? Already went out. I didn't even have to do anything. So save yourself a dealer trip and just drive the car. Yeah, I think all the tire pressure monitors in this thing are dead. Anyway, welcome to Protomotive. This is a nighttime drive. Can you see anything? Yeah, kind of. Nighttime drive, TPC car. This thing's been at our, well, TPC Turbo system originally on this car. It's got a build by 911 design, 3.8 liter upgrade, reinforced for turbo. It's gone through an awful lot of upgrades since it's been at the shop. It's been through 2 different turbo upgrades, miscellaneous wastegate upgrades. The exhaust has been modified, reinforced, replaced all the slips with V-band. Wastegate now has a tile wastegate on it. The turbo went to a GTX 35. Now it's got a G3770 or G3900. I'd have to double check. It's been a while. And it's got a 997.2 turbo turbocharger. Hey, there we go. Now, okay, now we got tire pressure, but we also got flat tires. We should fix that. Anyhow, this thing that also got a 997.2 turbo fuel pump put in it because we've run E85 on this, and with all the upgrades, we ran it up to an over 700 wheel horsepower on our Dynapack dyno at only right around 0.9 to a bar of boost. So it's pretty happy, and I've never driven it. It's been on and off and on and off and on and off the dyno, and I made changes, and every time we hit a brick wall, the customer said, fix it. So we'd take it off and we'd fix it and put it back on the dyno and run it up further until it hit a brick wall with power, and call them up and he'd say, let's go further. What'll it take? And so we ran, now it's got 80-pound injectors in it. It's running E85. Currently it has pump in it, but it's running pump meth. And I believe on pump meth it ran up to 640, 650 at the wheels. So not tremendously off of E85. But we also didn't go crazy on the boost pressure because we wanted to keep the trans alive. And this being built by 911 design, it's got a clutch in it by him. I'm not really sure what that is, but it's handled the torque. It's up over 600 foot-pounds of torque. So this thing should be quite a hoot, but I planned on taking it for a spin, but it looks like we really need to put air in the tires. So let's go ahead and head back. So now we've got a PSS, a Bilstein PSS 10, I think, a full suspension to go on it. He also said we'll probably be needing to update the wheels, or update wheels, tires, and the brakes to handle the power. So we'll be looking into that as well, because he likes to drive this car over at Hallett Raceway in Oklahoma. Well, let's at least see where boost onset is on this with this turbocharger. On the dyno, it starts making boost somewhere around 2,000. Kind of hard to tell. Yeah, it's already pulling good. I'm in third gear. Whoops. Okay. Well, we have no traction, and that's second gear, and all it did is lit the tires. So that's kind of fun, but I thought with the lower tire pressure, it might actually hook up a little bit better. It's now 57 degrees, so the road should be relatively warm, but maybe we're not doing a drag race here, we are on the road. I guess we could turn the boost down. I think with the boost all the way down, it still makes somewhere in the high 4s, 500 horsepower range. Yeah, we're getting a little temperature in the tires, making a little heat. Wheel change. Input new settings. Yeah, there's a lot of crap on the road here. We just had a lot of snow, just a lot of ice, all kinds of stuff. So there's all kinds of crapola on the road here they haven't cleared off yet. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, we don't want to do that. The car wants to rotate really bad, so let's put some air in the tires. Let's not be stupid here. All right, we got air in the tires now. They weren't quite as low as the system was telling us it was, and we're resetting the adaption on it. Let's see what it says now. While it was in the shop, the shifter was horribly sloppy, so we picked up a complete shifter bushing kit, put a short shifter in it, updated and modded that, and we've got it nice and tight now, so that all feels good. Suspension still in stock. We've got to get the Bilsteins on it. That'll improve that, and it's got 19s on it right now, which look cool, but are terrible for traction. So we'd really like to upgrade to 18s, so it'll get better traction, but that'll limit the brakes. So it's kind of a catch-22 there. Oh yeah, we've got crap on the road here. Let's... yuck. Why don't we turn around and go the other way, so we don't have to drive around this road stuff again. I don't know if you guys can see anything though. Let's see. Yeah, these tires are just friggin' ice slicks. First gear is certainly useless. Wow, that's a little harsh. From off to on throttle. Wow, yeah, it's got an 82mm throttle body on it, and it's like a little over responsive. That could also be that it's got a blow-off valve in the system now. The TPC normally doesn't put one in, but it could be it's breathing, then all of a sudden the blow-off valve shuts, and now you're making boost. I'm not sure which. Yeah, road's a little better on this side. No dirt, no gravel. The customer's asking for an exhaust upgrade. He doesn't really like the sound of the exhaust. There's very little space back there with the turbo in the way. And the turbo on one side, intercooler on the other side. So it's just got a the TPC muffler on it still. That's basically a stubby little 3 or 3.5 inch resonator, MagnaFlow style, with a U-turn coming back to the dual tips in the center. So the wastegate dumps out of one of the tips, and the turbocharger dumps out of the other one. Yeah, I'm supposed to be picking up dinner right now. Yeah, that says 7:32, but I think that's the old time. I think it's 8:30, and I'm driving the wrong car. Yeah, it's 8:16 right now. I'm supposed to be driving another car, checking it out. Let's see if this thing's still wanting to rotate. That's a little better. It's not getting wonky on me so much. I don't really trust it though. I don't want to end up off the side of the mountain, you know. Alright, road's a little wider. Oh, that was fourth gear. Hey, there's tire pressures. Let's try middle of the road. Okay, well that's not rotating, not spinning, so tire pressure was part of the issue, and bad road back there for sure. Third gear roll on. Trying to get an idea of how this thing feels. Yeah, it just wants to rotate. So I think this car needs a pretty severe alignment. Wheels, tires, like he was saying. Customer knows best, right? He had tracked the car a bunch and possibly was pretty uncomfortable with it. It only made, I think when it showed up, it was making 350 or 360 to the tires. So it wasn't even up to a TPC spec with the 3.8 and everything, but a completely standard TPC Turbo kit on it. So like I said, it's gone through many stages of tuning, or many levels of power. It initially showed up and just ran into a brick wall pretty quick with what it had on there. Changed turbos, ran it up, ran it into a brick wall. Found out the intercooler was plumbed backwards. The intercooler, the coolant was plumbed backwards, so the thing had a huge air pocket up there you could never get out. We replumbed that, put a purge on that, changed that all around. You wouldn't really think you could plumb it backwards, but it just it was impossible to get the air out of it the way that it was routed. And I had to put all kinds of heat shielding on it because the exhaust was just roasting the intercooler when it was on the dyno. All right, well, we'll do this during the day when it feels a little safer. How's that? Maybe a little bit warmer roads, and we really need to go get dinner.